Hi everyone, it's Kathleen. I'm back this morning to continue working on this monogram page, joining along with the Roxys Journal of Stitchery treasure hunt theme, which is Vol.4. I'm doing treasure hunt of stitches. So we did this the other day and I'm going to continue. And I have flowers and a bird to do. So I'm going to do the bird first. I'm using DMC. Do I even have throughout this project, I'm going to use different yarns and threads. This bird is going to be DMC, Perle Cotton. This is the number. It's a variegated color, 4025. Michael's here in Canada, where I live, had these. They were discontinuing the variegated ones, so I won't be able to. What I have is it for these colors. So let's try to, can't get it in there, so let's try this one. Geez, my fingers aren't working today. You want to work along and, okay. I'm using my needle threader today, and we're going to make that little bird. So let's continue. This can go over here. I love how that stylized S for the monogram turned out, and it was with the painted stitch. So now let's go with the bird. And it's a thick, size 5 Perle Cotton is way thicker than the normal, well, not the normal, but it seems to be a regulated number 8 that they have. So I just like the color of this variegated one. That's the reason why I'm using it on my bird. So I have a line or a bird and a tail. So where am I going to start? Let's start with this little swirl. So I'm just going to be doing very small and back stitches, so I better go over here. Of course, Lulu was sleeping, and as soon as I turned on the camera, she decides to bark somewhat. And she does not listen to me when I tell her to be quiet, because she's not my dog, she's my son's dog. No barking, Lulu. She doesn't think I have any authority. You should have seen the mess I had on the floor this morning when I woke up. Oh my gosh. Well, the guilty party were either the 2 cats or Lulu. And I'm blaming Lulu because the shawl was taken apart. The ball of yarn was on the love seat, and there was a trail of yarn from the chair where I sat, unraveled across the living room, onto the love seat, off the love seat, through the living room, around the dining room table, and back onto the love seat. And when I was raising my voice to the kitty cats, the dog took the ball of yarn and started to run off with it. So I had to apologize to the kitty cats and go after Lulu to retrieve my ball of yarn. So, lesson learned. Put everything away, because God only knows what'll happen to it. So I'm just going back and forth. Lulu, no. If she doesn't stop barking, I'll have to carry her outside. I can't take that barking, sorry. Why are you barking? Come here. Come here. Okay, we're going to go outside, because we don't want to hear you bark. No, you're going to go outside. That's where barking dogs go. There you are. There. Now we have peace and quiet. She has water. She has a nice deck. She has a little bed to lay on. Oh, now she's at the door. Oh, well. Let's continue working and forget about Lulu. So we are making, it's a little spiral in the tail. If you hear her bark outside, oh well, she will. That's unusual for her. Okay, so this is quite a thick thread. A size 8, which is thinner, would definitely work. You know what? Maybe I'll give her a bone to chew on. Sorry, and I don't want to restart this video. That's why I will hurry up. Okay. Here you go. Go inside. Good dog. Oh, there. Busy dog. Now she has something to do. Okay. Let's. Oh, she's proving me wrong. Look at her. Look at her barking. Oh, well. Oh, my goodness. Go get your bone and come in here. Come on. Get your bone. Good dog. Okay, come in. Honestly. Boy, oh boy. High maintenance dog, that one. Okay, sorry. So we're doing the back stitch. And I'll try to do it quickly. So where does this, I drew this line here. And let's go beside that. Sage stitch. And I'm trying to take little bites. I really admire some people's stitching when they can have very even stitches. This is getting better. No, Polly. Polly, no. Okay, if it's not the puppy dog, it's the cat. Okay, here we are. There we are. Okay, so we are, you notice how I pull that yarn and then I kind of stretch my fabric as I go because I'm not working in a hoop because I need to feel my thread, and it's quite dark in here for some reason. And my hands have wore off the pencil mark. You might see a gray foot on the camera. Oh no, Max is. He's still here. Max cat. You're a good Max cat. I don't want to shoo him because he's the attack cat and he might think I'm fighting him. We have a mutual agreement, I said. We have, I don't look at him. He doesn't look at me, no eye contact. And I'm the only one that is allowed in the house other than my son, my daughter-in-law, and my grandson. This cat is just a guard cat on duty, no kidding. Okay, so that's a swirl. Then I gotta go back to do this swirl. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, let's just continue around the bird. And, okay, if I have a swirl like that, I'm gonna go on the top part of the bird. And again, I'm using stab stitch going in and out of my fabric rather than just keeping my needle on the top of the fabric. For me, for some reason, it just gives a better defined stitch. So we are doing this cute little bird. I call it a cinderberry bird because Cinderberry Stitches has this cute little bird. I bought a pattern from her so many years ago to embroider a quilt, a big bed quilt, which of course I never got around to it because I'm a collector, not a doer. I have a million things on the go. Okay, so maybe I might use gray for the eyes. We'll see. So, well, what am I doing? I just went down that stitch. I want it pointy, the bird. Geez, my eyes are weird. I just can't see. Okay, here and down. I'll use that same gray that I used for my monogram. I will use that for the beak and the eye. Oh gosh, I can barely see because my hand has wore off the pencil pattern that I drew, my drawing that I hand drew. I love this turquoise shade. I love the ocean. Even though I live in landlocked Alberta, and I love to go to Mexico. Okay, so that's the bottom, and I have a little, my tail feather is going here, so I'm this little portion in between here, I'm carrying my thread. Oh my, very, very flimsy fabric already. It's so thin because it's so old. So I'm carrying this thread. I'm just anchoring it with my other threads and anchoring it underneath. So it's not, so it looks like it's just stitched there. And then I'm going to continue. Oh boy, that's a real small one. On the other side of this, here, maybe I'll, no, I am going to go, now what am I doing? It's going back and forth. Okay, whoa! Okay, working with a camera stand, and it's wiggling, stop wiggling. Okay, so we're gonna go back stitch, so back to forward, and it looks like I'm in a knot or something, so feel with your fingernail, and there we are. Whoops, I'm on top of that, so I'm in through, take it out, I'm into very many threads. Oh, how easy is that? So I just had my needle in the wrong spot. Back stitch, and this is a small little circle, small little curly Q, so we're going to see how I can manage that. Oh boy. And let's go around the little circle. Around, make a little curly Q. And I can't see what the pencil is showing me, so I'm just inventing this shape. And maybe there. Okay. I stretched my fabric like this, and then I put my, I put this book on top, and I let it sit overnight, and it did a nice job of ironing it. So I'm finished with this blue right now. I'm going to tie a knot, and then I'm going to take the end, instead of just cutting it off, I'm going to just stick it, let's go under here. I'm anchoring it underneath the threads in the back. And under that thread loop. I'm not going through the fabric, just the thread. And there. So now I can cut it off. right at the base, so you don't have one of these little long furry bits showing. It's all hidden underneath there. So I'm going to take my thread out of that, and let's get some more of this gray thread. I swear I packed 3 of these spools for Lisa, and she says she didn't get them. I believe her. So that means that it must be on the floor someplace in my craft room, which I can't even look for right now because I'm not at home. So I will look for it when I get home on Sunday. Look at that one. I'm going to have to do 2 knots. Okay, so I want to have a beak, an eye, and an X. Can I do this? Let's try to do a colonial knot. Is a 1 wrap. You can either do a 1 wrap French knot and go down close to the hole but not in the hole like that, or I'm going to do a colonial knot. We'll see how big that is. So let's go. Colonial knot, you arc your thread clockwise and you hold it. Needle hits the thread, finger, wrap around. And where do I want this? Right beside here. Stand that up in my wool. Pull the little, oh, is that going to be too big? Because it actually has 2 wraps on it. Okay, I'm going to take that out. Lesson learned. Let's try just a single wrapped French knot. So let's just go 1 and put it down in that same hole. Stand it up. Pull. Okay, so that eye is smaller. With that, a 1 wrapped French knot is smaller than a colonial knot because a colonial knot actually has 2 wraps. So I'm holding the thread and the fabric and I'm pulling my needle through. Okay, so that's the small eye of the bird. I want to knot it at the back because I don't want the eye to move around. Oh, it's a cute little eye. And how are we going to do a beak? Let's go beak. Let's go like this. Oh, I'm going to go on the outside. How far is my beak? Let's go this little size beak. And let's go down. Let's go up here. So right to the blue. Oh, I wonder if 2 would be, I'm going to try 2. Let's go down, up, just a little bit lower, but close to the blue. Gosh, I can't see my thread. And let's go back down in that hole. Let's see how that beak looks. Oh, he looks so cute. Love that beak. Okay, so we're gonna, yes, well, I don't have to do a knot. I want to do a little X in here. Why? Because I do. And, okay, so that's where I want it. Oh, great. Lulu finished her, and I'm just finished her bone, so I hope she doesn't bark. She's quite a quiet dog. I don't know why she's giving me grief today. So here we are. I anchored the thread underneath, and I want to do that X. Why a X? I like X's. What on earth is an X doing on a bird? I don't know. I just like it. Okay, let's do a little X. And oh, I like that. He is so cute. Okay. Oh my my God, that's adorable. That's adorable. Okay, and let's tie him off and let's do some flowers. I have 3 things on top of the letter S. I'm not sure, 3 petals. I don't know if I want them green or what have you. So this piece here, I'm just going, this piece of gray, I'm going to anchor underneath that thread before I cut it off. There we are. So it just makes the back finished off, well, a little nicer than these hairy bits, these furry bits. So look at how nice that is looking. Now that I see this and I still have this, I'm gonna add a few more stitches of gray. Did I cut that off? Because I don't know if it's my eyes or whether I actually see some fabric. So I'm just going to, do I want to continue with the painted stitch? Yes, I do. I could have continued with the painted stitch, or, I wonder. You know what? We can do the satin stitch around there, even though I said I didn't really care for the satin stitch. Let's try it. Okay, what it'll do is make the S elevate and stand higher. So let's start at the bottom of the S. Oh, dear Lord. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is I'm going to, it's like a wrap. Oh, gee. I do that all the time with my needle. Oh, my. Okay, so we are, make sure there's no, we are going to go around and around, catching the loops. Just the loop. We're going underneath the wool thread that's there, because my wool thread is narrow. Under the second stitch, and my needle is always pointing the same direction. Oh, look at how nice and thicker it's getting. And that's a second. Let's go, where's my thread? Over here. So let's go in the next. So now I'm always entering from the right to the left. From the right to the left. So we're just adding more thread on top. So if this was it just makes your thread thicker. It's going to make our letter stand out more. So keep going around. In the next stitch, just right to left. Just going underneath the thread, not getting the fabric. So that's making my letter darker in color or thicker in color, thicker in height, texture, I guess. So right to left. You can always add to, wow, how come that's raised? Okay, maybe I didn't pull it tight enough. Left to right. We're going to go all the way around the stitch. So a satin stitch is just up one side of the thread, down the other, but this is, there's a word for it, I'm just kind of wrapping the threads around the existing stitch that's there. To make my, instead of a back stitch, I'm making my back stitch thicker because I'm going around and around. I'll have to look up that word. There's an actual word for this, what I'm doing. And you can see how it is making it thicker rather than, you can see these dash, 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 dash. It's making it like a rope. So I'm going across this way. And I'm always going right to left, only underneath the threads. And you saw how I take my needle and I'm ironing, squeezing this so it's tight, and then my needle is going underneath the yarn and pulling underneath the yarn and pull. And I'm going to do that all the way around, and we'll see what it looks like when we get to the wider version. And we're still going to be looping it around. Whoops. Stop. So we're making this letter thicker. And when you make it thicker, it stands out more. This original wool thread is thinner than my Perle Cotton, so I do want to have it stand out a little bit more. Uh-oh. Okay, I can't feel this and I can't see it either. Whoops. Some people would use a tapestry needle, but I don't like to. I need a long shaft to hold on to, so I always use my Milner's. If I'm worried, I'll use the eye like this, the eye of my needle, to go around. But I don't have to. I can feel it. And I'm just going underneath the yarn to make my letter darker, and it's popping up more, and that's exactly what I want. Always adding on to stitches. Oh, come on, I can't see where I am. This stitch, that stitch. Come on. Jeez, my poor eyes, I can't see. Okay, and I can't feel that stitch. So I use my eye of my needle to go around, and eye of my needle to go under. There we are. Because your eye of the needle acts as a tapestry needle because it's not pointy, it's blunt. I almost hold my breath when I sew. Okay, I have to lay this down. Okay, that line is so much thicker, it's awesome. And let's continue. Okay, the light is on in here. Holy, kind of dark. Okay, so let's see, where are we here? Up here. Switch back to the pointy part. I just alternate, depend on how easy it is to go in here. Okay, we're getting pretty close to this thicker portion. Just goes to show you can always add and add and add to your stitching. And that's what I'm going to be doing to this little page. Okay, so here we're into the thicker part. So let's pull our fabric nice and tight or smooth, and we're going to start with that one line of a point, and then it it opens up like a pie. And we're still going to be doing the same thing. And look, I'm running out of thread. Same thing. And let's see, let's go closer. And okay, I can't feel that, gee. Let's try this. Okay, felt that. And here, let's take that out a little bit more. And I'm doing the same motion. Wow. It's because I can't see what I'm doing. My eyes are just not focused. Okay, I'm trying to go underneath. And don't pull too tight because you don't want to pull the two widths together. You just want them to lie over top. There. Okay, so you can actually see the lines that I've done. And, okay, where's that other thread? And this is where it bothers me if it's not exactly flat on top. Okay, I have to make sure I go in on the outside right and out on the outside left of that line, of that stitch. Okay, and we're going to keep going. This is where a nice furry yarn would come in handy. And I see there's 3 threads that I have to go under, and I'm using the eye this time. And come on, turn over the other way. Okay, and that's not it. Can't see. Darn it. Okay. Oh shoot, you saw that? I pulled it too tight and my needle came out, my thread came out. Oh God, because if you pull it too tight, it'll go right in. Let's do this again. Oh gosh, my fingers just don't work sometimes and it's just crazy. Okay, finger hold. All right. Don't know why that happens. Okay, let's go and continue. And we're just wrapping the thread around the existing threads that's there to make it thicker. Oh, look at that big, oh shoot. I can't see if I went under 2 threads or 3 threads. Sometimes it's just hard to see. And it has to be tight. Okay, that's good. There. Oh, let's put one more in here. Stretching my eyes as far as they'll open and I still can't see. Okay. And continue. Oops. Really pulling my fabric snug. Oh, I see. I have a shoot. Okay, I didn't pull. Okay, I can't see. I didn't pull tight enough. Oh, can't tell if I did or not. Oh, shoot. Okay, I think I'm going to tie. Oh, I was going to tie it off, but let me just do maybe 2 more stitches. Yes, holding my breath. Don't know why I do that. Oh, that's gonna bother me because this is slightly higher. I'll have to pull it out so it's all fluffy. Okay, that's nice and thick. I like that. See if I can do it all without having to rethread. Oh, come on. Yes, this is slow because I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, this is a single layer of thread I'm going to go under. And I want to go under the bird. And come out where on the other side of the tail. Okay, good. I'm still not happy with this little lump I have here. So we are just going right to left till we finish this letter S. The top, we're just about done. There's only about 2 or 3 more stitches. So we're wrapping a second layer of thread around the existing back stitch. And down. Okay, let's tie a knot. Hardly any thread to hold on to tie the knot. Come on. Oh. And I want to hide this, so I want to hide the tail before I cut it off, so let's just go under. And that's garbage, so let's see what we have. So it's thicker. Bottom line, it's thicker. And that's why I don't do monograms, is because this will always bother me. I can't fix it. Usually, if you can, you just pull up on the different threads until it is the length, I guess, you want. This will have to do. And that's why I don't do monograms too often, is because I can't. Okay, so we did the gray. I would like to use this variegated coral down here. So let's see, DMC, look for my thread on the bottom. Oh, looks like it's 2 ends are tied up there. What does that mean? Okay, I'm going to grab the bottom, hold the top, grab the bottom, and pull. Is this not working? Remember I told you to grab the bottom one. Okay, I have to take this off. It's not even coming off. Okay, I took those 2 off, and here we go. So what I usually do is all of this, when I open it up, okay, this time here I'm not going to cut it. Usually I'll just cut it there and I'll have all my lengths cut for me. But right now I'm just going to cut that off. I'm going to tie this long thing here. In a knot. And let's go with My hands are just not working today. My fingers aren't grasping. Why? I have no idea. Come on. There we are. There we are. Check the end. So we are going to do the chain stitch. What do I call it? The lazy daisy chain stitch. It's the chain stitch to create these flowers. So the flowers, and then I'll use yellow for the center. So let's just do, you come up at the bottom of where you want your flower petal to be. You make a clockwise arc. Move your knot out of the way with your finger and your thumb. Go down the same hole, up, and we take this thread and we go behind the needle, or under the needle, I guess it is, and hold it and pull. And then we can see what's happening. Beautiful. And I like, okay, a chain stitch just goes down right over the chain, but I like to see a little length, a little bite. So I'm just going to go down there because I can. I just like the way that looks. And I'm going to make a knot because I want it to stay there, and then I'm going to start my second petal. A lot of people don't make knots, but because I've cut sometimes my fabric, I don't want it to all fall apart. So let's come up for this bottom. See, my thumb let go. This bottom petal. And it's going to lie flat, that thread. Whoops, thread's going to lay flat. Chain stitch, you curl your yarn thread over the top clockwise, go down the exact same hole, come up where you want your petal to be. Your thread is underneath the needle, and I hold it and pull, and then when I'm just about out of thread, I let go and I look and see, and then I want to have another little tick still. So the proper way to do a chain stitch, you just go over top of the thread and be done with it. But I like to see a little length and down. Like the way that looks. And again, I am going to tie a knot. I tie lots of knots at the back because I tend to cut my design sometimes and I don't want it to all come out. There we are. So that's that one. Now we have the third one. Let's go this way, and you always start at the bottom of the petal. Come on. Oh, for the love of gosh. Okay, and I don't need, oh, for crying out loud. I'm using these papers as a reference. Falling down. So chain stitch, curved. Oh my God, that ticks me off. Okay, around and a clockwise. Oh, you don't. Oh, no wonder. There's a silly charger there. Oh, for God's sakes. I have to see this. Sorry, it just bothers me. There we are. Okay, stay. Now, where were we? You come up at the bottom, arc your thread around, go down the same hole, up, and look how twisted I am already. Thread behind the needle and pull, and let's give it a nice little tail and down. Okay, like the way that looks, and knot in the back, and then let's see if I have what I have to do. Where do I have to go from here? I've got 1, 2, 3 stems in here, so I have to go up here, and this is the left. Let's go up here. So I don't have to go very far. So I just have to go here. And I want to make sure I don't go through that gray. I'm going to go under the gray, beside the gray. It's laying snug. And we're going to make 3 more chains for a flower petal. So where's my flower? Let's make the flower petal go this way, down the same hole. Oops, I cats. Don't go in the gray. Okay, come on. What are you doing? Okay, down. I'm not in the gray. And I'm going to go in the middle here of the greenery. Squeeze and pull. I have to let my thread detangle. Okay. And squeeze that chain, and then let's make a little dash out the top rather than just snugly over top, and tie it up. Make a knot. Oh, I love that. And the variegation in the color, OMG. So I'm going on the side of the, so this outside stem is where the flower is going to come from, or where it's supposed to come from. I'm not going to go through the gray yarn. I'm going around it. So I make an arc, go down the same hole, up, squeeze and pull. And make a little tick at the top, because that's just what I like to see in my flowers. And again at the tip, I'm going to make a knot. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but I find that it helps me in the future. Okay, just by laying flat. Oh, I love that. Okay, down at the bottom, I'm going to leave room for a little French knot. Oops, I have to go closer to the, oh my, okay. I don't know if I'm in camera or not, because this thing, I had to move it, sorry. And down the same hole, we're doing the last petal on this second flower. And I want it to go here. Yes, I want it to go there. Hopefully I'm not catching my, okay, I have to change that. It's going to be a small petal because I still want that. Oh, I'm not going to get a long tick, am I? Just the way it lays. Okay, there's that. And I'm going to put the tick there. Turn it over, make a knot, and go for the second petal, I believe it is. Oh no, those 2 flowers are done, so let's go this one. You know what? Oh, I'm going to leave it there. I'm just going to remove it. Okay, let's go here. Let's just do the top one. Go around. Hold it with your thumb and finger and pull, and then give it a little tick. Oh, shoot. See, that's why I hold my stitches. Sometimes I pull and I pull the wrong thing. And I always want to knot at the tip. That's just a habit I've gotten into because I tear or cut my fabric. Okay, so second flat, pull it, make an arc, go down the hole, and let's go up this way. Squeeze, and then see. See, I got a circle here instead of an edge. I mean an oval. I like ovals. And let's make a tick. Very nice. Oh, that's pretty. Pretty, pretty. Color makes a big difference. That's why I took out some of those stitches yesterday and put 2 different colors in here. But this variegation, you have the pinks, the orange, coral. Just love that shade. Okay, and the last leaf on this stem, arc your thread, go down, up, squeeze the fabric and the thread, and then pull. You have to, sometimes you have to just fluff it with your finger and give it a little tick and go down. And I'm going to tie that up. Oh, I love that. That's so gorgeous. Sometimes designs work out, sometimes they don't. So if you like it, like it. If you don't, well, rip it out. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. That's the 4th petal. And I can't see how many are on here. I'm just going to start over here. Whoa, that's way too high. Okay, let's just go here. I can't see how many petals are supposed to be that I drew, but I like it over here. So let's go down the same hole. Bring the thread under the needle, squeeze it and pull. And I want it off that gray. Pull and leave a tick. Tie a knot. I wonder why my fingers aren't working today. Oh, shoot. Okay. And let's go on that side. Lay it flat. Arc your thread. And I say this for myself, so I think out loud. So for me, you'll hear me repeating stuff. That's for me, because I need to hear that. And pull. And leave a tick. And yes, I say this when the camera is not on. Have I lost my mind? Maybe. Who knows? Maybe. Do a little knot. God, I love these colors. And the 3rd petal. Look at how much that color added. Oh my, I'm just in love with this. I'm in love with the stylized S. I'm in love with the colors, the sage green, the light green, the variegated turquoise, and the going this way, squeeze and pull, and the variegated coral. Okay, sometimes you get a wonky circle, so you just fluff it and push it together, and we're gonna go down. I'm going in the middle of the flower because this petal is over the top. Look at that. Love it. That was the tip. And let's see what else we have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I will want to come up here. So what do I have to go down? I'm here. So to go there, I'm dragging my thread under those to secure them in place. And I said here, so let's go up. Let's make a loop clockwise, go down the same hole, and let's make it a little bit bigger. Thread underneath the needle, squeeze and pull. Fluff that shape and leave a tick. And tie that knot. Do this one. Oh, the pop of yellow is going to be just stunning in here. And don't worry, I get another hour. Who's slow stitching? Who said it was quick? But I'll stitch with you on camera because I would like to show you. Hopefully I can come on daily and just add just different stitches layered and just show you the stitches or different stitches, whatever, on here. And pull. Okay, and a tick. Oh, I love that. And one more. I don't know what I'm going to put up there. Or maybe I should just leave it. I drew three little some things like that above the bird. Don't know what I want to do. Okay, I'm doing the last stitch here. I'll have to think on that. Whoops, I see some, oops, where am I? Whoa, I'm way out. Somewhere in here, but how come I'm going through stuff? Okay, there's knots there. Okay, let's go under there to secure it. And let's find, oops, too high. Nope, down just a knot. There we are. Another loop. Thread around and under the needle. Oh, not around the needle, under the needle and pull. Beautiful. And a little dash over top. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so pretty. Pretty, pretty. And let's hide this. I think that's all. I don't need any more of this color. Oh, I love that. Oh. I was going to say, well, how can I make this part of the bird? I have to think on that. Maybe I should leave it so we can see the letter S. Because if I put too much there, you might not see the S for my monogram. So it's a stylized monogram. So let's put that coral away and let's see how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can do 2. Oh, this is a small piece. I'm going to use my small piece. 2 light colored. And, oh, I have many. What do I have here? This. So I have a light and a dark. So let's go 2 lights and 3 darks because I like the honey colored one. So let's do the light one. Let's thread this baby. Ah, geez. Come on, fingers, work. Okay, oh wow. Let's leave that because this thread is really unraveling there. And I just need 2 small French knots, so this piece will be good enough. Okay, so we are going to do a French knot. I've got 5 flowers, so I'm going to do these 2. So this one here, let's put the French knot here. Okay, and a French knot is usually 3. So let's see how big 3 is. And I anchoring my thumb, 1, 2, 3, holding it. I want to go close to, but not in that hole, into my wool mat, and let's pull it. Let's see how thick that is. Yes, it's thick, but I like that thick. So let's do 3 and squeeze and pull. Love it. Absolutely love it. So we're going to go over there. First of all, as you know, I tie a knot, and then let's see where I want to come out. I want to come out here. So in the back, I have to carry my threads under there. I'm securing my thread at the back. There. And where do I come out? Right here. I don't want to go on the gray, so I'm to the side of the gray. And French knot anchor, 1, 2, 3. Go down close, but not into the same hole, and pull snugly, and pull your needle through. And I always hold that little knot. Oh, see, even though I did the 3, this one's bigger than that one, so obviously I didn't pull as tight in there, but they're flowers. They are going to be different in nature. And that's the last one. I want to go underneath here to anchor my thread. I'm going to save that because I just can't throw that away. And 2 more gold colors. Again, I always try to have at least 2 shades of the same color. And tie a knot at the bottom. So I'll come on a little bit every day and stitch a little bit every day with you ladies. So we have 1. Let's start with that one. Okay, I don't want to come up in the threads. Whoops, that's way out. Oh, that seems quite thick. Okay. And a French knot again. I anchor my 1, 2, 3. I just get in the habit of it because when I do my loose French knots, I anchor it so I know how long to make the thread. So I just make it a habit of doing it with all my French knots, even these proper French knots. And the color is just slightly different, and I love that. Tie a knot. Let's go to the front of the fabric, see where I want to come out. I want to come out or go in the back over here. So I have to anchor the thread underneath. Anchored under these 2. And I have to go back and see because I can't remember where I was coming out. Right here. So I can go under this one yet. Okay, and we're at the right place. So I'm going to come up here, the middle flower, and pull it, make sure it's laying flat. Anchor 1, 2, 3. Down close to, but not in the same hole. Oh, that's a nice snug one. And pull. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, I love that. And that, and do I have one more? Yeah, I gotta come up here. Can you see the difference? There are 3 wraps, but it depends on how tight you pull it. Look at how loose that is, and that's really tight. Less, oh, well, looser and snugger. So same way I did it, my French knots come out different. Okay, so I want to go down there, so my thread has to be carried over here. Where we go? Oh, that is just under here and here and here. Let's just see. I want to come up. Okay, there's something there. What's the something? I can go, that'll just be loose. Let's see, let's try here. No, that's not quite right. Okay, let's put it in here. Is it laying flat? Can't see. And last French knot we are going to do is anchor, and 1, 2, 3. Hold with my finger and oh shoot. And down here I'm anchoring this. Better not scratch Samantha's table. I'll never hear the end of it. Oh dear. Okay, here we are. It's a nice wooden table. Okay, so we have this. I'll tie my knot and that's done. I wonder if I should leave it. If I'm indecisive, I shouldn't, but I like the style of that. So let me think. Okay, this is just going to be anchored here and here. Then I will cut that off. Now, do I want to do one more stitch? Let's have a look. Oh, gosh, I have that anchored there. So that's the drawing, and that's what I ended up with. So instead of this, I went up with a flower garden and some things. But I have... If I put anything more on the top, you wouldn't tell that it's an S. So I'm just going to leave it. And you know what? I'm going to leave my pencil marks because it just shows my thought process. Okay, so there we have it. I'm going to call that monogram done. The page is not done because I will be doing some stitching around to show you different stitches, but the monogram is done. So thank you everyone for watching, and bye for now.